The late 90s and early noughties witnessed a meteoric rise for body-shaking, rubber-clad pop stars. But one by one, these chart toppers were crushed by the weight of their own success. Previously.
Hello, darling.
The big reunion family became whole again.
We are going to be part of the best show ever.
But smiles swiftly vanished when Blue gate-crashed the party.
It does feel a little bit like they've been able to waltz in when everything's more or less done.
Dog eat dog. Boy band eat boy band. Girl band eat girl. Bring it on!
How do you feel about completely trampling over all of us?
Who's going to come back next? Shakin' Stevens will be jumping in it.
In 2001, Blue seized the boy band crown, hitting the right note with millions of fans worldwide. But like all good things and all good boy bands, it couldn't last forever.
It got to the point where they worked us so hard that they didn't give us a break.
We were like travelling all over the world, and I remember every single day we were in another country.
Here in Paris.
Paris. We've been up since about 8:30 this morning. It's now 11 o'clock at night and we just arrived. They cram in 30 interviews, 10 photo shoots, constantly from the minute you land to the minute you go to bed. You don't stop.
I remember doing the last tour. People would turn up late, people just weren't bothered anymore.
The cracks were starting to appear, but for Blue, there was more behind their demise than a hectic schedule.
I mean, the breakup of the band, it just came as a massive shock. And I believe that it was certain people from the outside world coming in and telling everyone that they're better than each other.
You can't let whisperers come in because people will always say you're the best in the group and this, that and the other, and we always said I would never listen to that.
I remember doing a gig with the lads, one of our last gigs. I remember seeing Blue's dressing room. I wanted to go and relax in the dressing room.
Some guy who's not even our manager was stopping us going into our own changing room because Lee needed to warm up.
He went, no, you can't go in there. And I went, why? I said, it says Blue. He said, no, you can't.
I didn't see it, if I'm honest, and I probably should have, but I didn't. This is some geezer that's told Lee he can do it on his own and he's better than us, and from that day I thought, OK, it's obviously coming to an end because randoms are coming into our little circle of trust. That ain't the boy that I met 14 years ago when he was 14 and I was 16 and we were trying to make it in the music business. Looking back now, I think if I would have had someone pull me to the side and sit me down, I don't know if I would have listened. I don't know. I think we was all guilty of people that were around us trying to drag us away from the group.
We were like, enough's enough. We need a break. We were like, we need at least a month off. A month turned into 3 months. 3 months turned into 6 months. 6 months turned into a year. And then 8 years later, we decided to get back together.
With another throw of the dice, Blue set their sights on European gold.
Eurovision. I mean, everyone I think was thinking, what the are you doing Eurovision? And I think that was half the reason why we did it. It was a shock. And at the end of the day, you don't want to do stuff that's safe constantly.
I just was in two minds. Not about getting back with the boys. I wanted to get back with the boys. But was I prepared to take the shit that comes with it?
We knew that it was going to be a struggle coming back to the UK, Eurovision or not. And we kind of thought, well, we might as well use this and represent our country and hope that England gets behind us.
This is the biggest music show in the world.
It's a great opportunity for us to show the people of Europe that Blue are back.
The amount of hype that we got in the UK for doing it was just like enormous. We were the bookies' favourite to win it.
But despite the shiny suits, I can was more a case of I can't, and Blue came a miserable 11th, losing out to Azerbaijan.
So in the UK, we love to build you up, to bring you down. And of course, because we didn't win it, I guess we had a people like, oh, you should never have done it in the first place.
You know, I thought we did well, and I'm proud of it. So, you know, no matter what people say, I stand strong that it was a good thing for us to do.
Coming up, Blue drops some home truths.
Me and Michelle had a little thing, but she turned me gay.
Duncan!
We made these people just under 80 million pounds. We saw about 200 grand's worth.
And the pressure starts to get to Sean.
Sean, you okay? Where is Sean?
With less than a week to go, the big reunion clock is ticking. And with renewed interest from UK media, it's back in front of the cameras as the reformed champs hit the publicity trail.
That's my point, wait, nice.
Back in rehearsals, after a less than ecstatic reception, New Boys Blue won a few fans after performing in front of the other groups. So later on, it was all down to the boozer for a catch-up.
What I say, it's really nice sitting around the table with the people that do like us in this show. All the rest who want to be here.
They didn't turn up.
Thanks, guys.
You know what? Cheers, guys.
There you go. Cheers, guys. Well, if anything I could say, I had so much fun.
Did you remember when we were in New York?
I did though. I had to write laughing off our group. I had the best time ever.
It was kind of mixed group, like, did you? Was there...
The dynamic was great for me.
Did anybody say? Did anybody say?
I know what you're going to ask.
We've already asked the lads anyway.
Actually, what did the lads say?
So was there like an orgy?
Never. No. Like for me, being in the band, I was kind of like the loose cannon of the group a little bit.
You used to party with us, though.
I did. I know. Yeah.
None of you guys like go out with each other, like.
Me and Duncan had relations.
Me and Michelle had a little thing, but she turned me gay.
Oh, Duncan!
He can joke about his sexuality now, but for years Duncan had to live with his secret.
Being brought up as a strict Catholic, the whole kind of gay thing in my head was bad and wrong. And it wasn't until I was in the band, being around other gay guys, understanding that actually you can be gay. It's all right to like other guys. Kind of made me open up a little bit more in myself. And I had a secret undercover relationship with one of our dancers. I actually really liked him. And I couldn't tell anybody. We would meet up in secret places, hotels or wherever. I used to ring him up, paranoid. Have you told anybody? Have you told anybody? And he'd be like, I'm not going to tell anybody. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. And I went about 3 years of not telling anybody. The whole time I was still confused about my sexuality. I was still sleeping with girls. And he was in love with me. And I broke his heart to the point where he couldn't be with me in that way anymore and ended it. And it was at that moment when he was gone out of my life, I realized about myself.
But being a heartthrob in a boy band with a legion of female fans, he wasn't ready to admit the truth.
I wanted to still be kind of known as Duncan James from Blue, the heartthrob, the ladies' man. And if anybody ever used to say anything about me, I think he's gay or something, I would get this panic inside me, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, do they know something? Do they know something? Has somebody said something?
But under the glare of the media spotlight, you can't keep a secret forever.
I was outed by the news of the world. I was so frightened. I actually had to leave the country. I couldn't even be in the UK. And actually, it was a really minor thing. A lot of people was like, oh, I always thought you were gay, or I always thought you were like that.
The secret was finally out, but his world soon changed again when, with excellent comic timing, his ex-girlfriend brought some rather unexpected news.
Crazily enough, 2 months later, found out I was going to be a dad.
These days, Duncan stays in touch with former girlfriend Claire and spends as much time as he can with his daughter Tiani Finn.
Right, here we are. We're going bowling. My little girl is the most beautifulest little thing. It was the best thing to come out of my crazy, confused time, I call it, when I didn't know what was going on. High five. I'm going through another bit of a change in my life right now. I'm 34 years old. I'm kind of figuring out who I am. I'm back doing Blue, what I love. I'm getting another chance to relive my, my dreams again. It feels good.
After a 2-week break from rehearsals, all of the groups are gathered for one last run-through before hitting the stage. And it looks like New Boys Blue have finally settled into the big reunion family.
Put their pins in this, let you go.
I'm working on it.
Even with the pressure of the gig mounting, just outside the rehearsal room, Liberty X are grabbing every opportunity for some light relief.
You had a quick little rehearsal in your house, didn't you?
Yeah, Jimmy came to my flat and we're in the kitchen, like, just doing the middle eight of body shake and all this hand business stuff.
While Lee frets about the precise shakes his body must make, Anthony has other worries.
I'm shitting it because...
Press-wise?
Yeah, completely. Sort of get singled out as the one with no talent.
They do that, I don't know if say that, but they do that with every band. It was like in this band, I was one who got the shit.
Yeah, I know, but you can still take it upon yourself to think, what the fuck have I done?
These days, Anthony's found happiness with his girlfriend Rosanna, but in Blue, he was viciously singled out for scrutiny.
It just felt like I was like a soap villain, do you know what I mean? Girls being horrible to me in clubs, and we're the other three. The other three are much better looking than you. How does it feel like to be the ugly one? How does it feel like to be the fat one? How does it feel like to be the unpopular one? How does it feel like to be the untalented one? And you're just like, what? I don't even know you, do you know what I mean? What are you being so nasty for?
Without a solo career like his bandmates, he was left to fend for himself in the post-Blue wasteland.
I was about 23, 24, so I'm still a young lad, you know? The boys are gone, I've got no one around me, and I'm thinking, oh, they're doing their own thing, and I'm Anthony Costa, I'm sitting at home twiddling my thumbs.
But that didn't stop him from chucking his cash around and trying to hang on to the pop star lifestyle.
I always wanted a massive house. I wanted the swimming pool inside, I wanted the tennis courts outside, I wanted everything. Because I thought, if I'm going to live amazing. I had a great time for 2-3 years in that house. I had parties, I had everything. But I couldn't afford it. It was like £6-7 grand mortgage. I was spending beyond my means, mate. The reality is you make so much money for the people above you, and you see nothing. I think we saw about 200 grand's worth, and we made these people just under £80 million in 4 years. And then I remember having a phone call from my accountant going, you owe 600 grand to the tax man. What?
I thought everything was being sorted by accountants, but deep down, I couldn't afford a fucking train ticket, mate, to go from the West End to my ass. I had the banks on my case, I had everything, and it was so much pressure to take that I lost everything. Everything, and if you can name any, if you go there now in my old house, everything's gone, because they took everything. From being up there, Charlie Big Bollocks, Tony Montana Scarface, to being Derek Trotter.
With less enormous testicles than he thought, and having hit rock bottom, in 2005 he was offered a lifeline.
I get a call from my agent, I'm a celebrity, wasn't ya? And I was well apprehensive. I was like, no way, no, I can't. I'm too scared. People are not gonna like me. They're gonna hate me. And then I remember talking to my mum and dad, and I was like, look, I've just been offered I'm a celebrity. And they went, do it.
It was a gamble, but with the taste of kangaroo anus came another taste of life in the spotlight and a newfound confidence.
I had people bullshitting me, and I can do this and I can do that. I can get you a solo deal. We're going to go and do a tour, and we're rubbish. I want to do my own thing, and then I can be my own boss. Look how young I am there.
I know.
Finally comfortable in his skin, he got another life-changing opportunity when he was offered a role in the West End musical Blood Brothers.
I remember walking into that room and just everyone whispering, that's him from Blue, why is he doing it, he's not an actor. Unbeknown to people, I did acting when I was a kid, so I was a trained actor. And it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. The other lads are doing so well in their solo stuff. Good luck to you boys. I'm doing what I want to do.
After reigniting his childhood passion, he now has his eye on even bigger projects with his film debut.
Action! Anthony Costa now is in a good place. He's much happier, much more assertive. Cut. I do things that I believe in now, and I feel that I've learnt a lot.
It's the last day of rehearsals before all of the groups hit the stage for the first time.
Is this all sunk in yet?
What, this?
Yeah. Or are you just taking each day as it comes?
Yeah, each day as it comes, man. You know what I mean? Get on stage, do stuff. Like that, I've been really enjoying that. It's been years, mate.
I'll be honest with you, man. If it weren't for you like splitting, I don't think we would have had the success.
Really?
Like we did, yeah.
Right.
Because as soon as, obviously, we was making our album at the time, you lot were, I think you just scared, oh no. Then that just went to #1.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, man, we want to be as cool as this, man. And when we were making the album, we was thinking, where do we fit? And all of a sudden you announced that we were split.
And you're like, sweet.
They may have enjoyed inheriting Five's fan base, but when Blue called it a day, despite launching a solo career, Simon was flailing in existential quicksand.
When you're not wanted anymore, or you don't know how to take the next step, you kind of fall into a deep hole. Inside, I really wanted to get back and get back with the boys, but no one was really ready for that. It was kind of hard. Deep down, I knew I was slipping away. Sleeping all day, partying all night. I might as well have been a vampire, to be honest. The only person that could change that was myself. Went to a little bit of a dark place, but I saw the light.
But unlike some ex-pop stars, he did have a good business head and made moves for a secure financial future.
I decided to kind of go down the route myself of opening up a record label and doing it myself. I invested a lot of money in properties and companies overseas and land and stuff like that. I did make quite a bit of money asset-wise. I was on paper. I made a rich list.
Even Simon couldn't avoid the global downturn when it came.
When the economy crashed, I lost that as well, so I had to find a way to pay the bills. Luckily for me, you know, a lot of things did come to me. Doing Sister Act in the West End with Whoopi Goldberg came to me, and off the back of that, I did a couple of movies as well. And that's basically how I kept my profile up, but paying the bills was just DJing.
A father since he was 18, the years away from the group have given Simon a chance to really enjoy time with his daughter Alana.
I'm a dad, #1. You know, I'm a father. You know, my daughter's been there all the way through my career. She's very proud of me and I'm proud of her. And, you know, that's the most important thing.
It's really hard.
Really?
Yeah, just want to do a media course. So then I can create videos of dancers and how they move.
Like a documentary kind of thing?
Yeah, like to see how their lifestyle affects how they dance.
Sorry, how old are you again?
16.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
But with the big reunion gig coming up, Blue are back on the agenda and Simon can't wait.
So I've kind of floated around. I haven't really gone away, but I've not really broken any barriers. So I've been, you know, hoping and praying for the day when me and the boys would actually reunite and get cracking again.
We're not giving 100% yet because, you know, we give 100%, we'll get 150, 200% when we get on the show. But
you don't want to burn out.
You don't want to burn out now.
After weeks of rehearsal, the big reunion gig is now a reality. The Hammersmith Apollo is being transformed. And tomorrow night, almost 3,000 fans will pack out the venue, expecting to see an amazing show. It's the first time all the groups are seeing the stage they'll have to perform on, and there's considerable alarm at the arrival of a large staircase.
Those steps are huge.
And they wobble as well, so
They
when you get into
wobble.
position, you're a bit like that.
I jumped up on that stage when we was doing All Rise, and I jumped up on it, and it was like, I was like, ah, I'm gonna fall over. So, you know, I've got to be careful, because if I go flat on my face in front of everyone, it's gonna be embarrassing.
So you break the first two, and then you walk through the second.
We just come off stage, we did our rehearsals, and now we're realising actually we got a lot of bloody work to do.
There's an army of lovers dying to meet you.
Lee might feel unsure of his performance in today's rehearsals, but when blues started to slow down back in 2004, he was courted by top record producers and managers and dived straight into a solo career. But it wasn't what he expected.
I was so young and naive. I'd come out of Blue and I didn't understand about business. I didn't understand about the way things work. I wanted to do soul music. And they opened up Music Week and went, indie, 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 indie rock, indie rock, indie rock. Yeah, you're going to do an indie album. I was like, oh, you're a fucking genius. It was totally what I didn't want to do. Blue had finished, so I was like, well, I've got to do what my record label want me to do. And it fell on its arse.
With a failing solo career, things went from bad to worse.
I went to a gig and they started booing me off stage and they were chucking bottles at me and this and that. I thought, I've had enough, I've got to leave. I've got to leave this country. I can't be here anymore. It's destroying me. It's making me into someone I don't want to be. I went to LA to forget who I was. It was the first time I had to go away and I had to make friends on the merit of me, not on the merit of Lee from Blue. And for me, that was one of the most eye-opening experiences. You know, I become at peace with myself. And it made me a better person.
With his Saving Lee Ryan LA hiatus behind him, Lee's dealt with the frustration of the music industry by finding a creative voice in script writing.
Very well, thank you. For me, it's another way to express myself and to tell stories. You can't change some things. You just gotta ride the waves and hopefully crash down on a nice sandy shore somewhere.
Next time, the big reunion is here. It's nerves and last-minute panics as the bands prepare for the biggest gig of their lives.
It's just gonna explode. Probably the most nervous I've ever been ever.
And emotions run high as our groups relive the pop star dream.
I'm gonna have to take his vocal.
It's taken 4 months, but we're ready.
This is absolutely fucking insane!